Hello, everyone, and welcome. It is now month 3, the halfway point of the halfway point, the first full quarter in year 1 of this medical journey, and I'm here to talk about what's new with that. Um, Aside from the cold weather outside now indicating that it is now entirely fall here in Michigan. Um, Not much hasn't been happening with me. This last month has been kind of a bit of a gray one. Not too much going on, both in just general and just with HRT. I think this is just kind of one of those, slow stasis months where, stuff is happening behind the scenes, but you can't really tell what's going on. You don't really know. You're not going to know until it happens, if that's a way of putting that. But yeah, it's just been kind of a slow month. There hasn't really been too many changes up with the mind and the body. Skin feels about as soft and the same as ever. Body hair is about the same in terms of softness and growth pattern and growth rate, which is kind of disappointing, but whatever. I'm still dealing with that as I normally am. I haven't noticed any significant changes to my physique. For the most part, my eating habits and my regular exercise have been kind of mixed as of recent. I'm still eating about the same, moderately healthy and trying to cut out a bit of the junk. And then with exercise, it's just been on and off again because of just how busy my schedule is between work, school, and other personal stuff. So I'm not really sure how that's impacting me, and in turn with HRT, how that process is going on with, changing my physique with fat redistribution and everything. I'm honestly not sure, what's being affected or what's changing right now. I'm honestly not sure. I'm not noticing any significant changes to my actual hair. Because I'm constantly, I'm still growing it out, and I'm styling it differently every week. I actually have to get it touched up because the sides are growing out a little bit too much. That's if you notice, my hair is very naturally curly, and so every about 2 months or so I have to go get it touched up because I like the sides and the back almost buzz down, but I'm growing at the top. So I'm about due for a touch up from my stylist. But other than that, no huge physical changes or mental changes whatsoever. The only real change that I've noticed has been in the chest area. You can't really see it because camera's about from the neck up, and I don't feel like lowering it or sitting up any higher, so I'm just gonna take my word for it, please. It hasn't, on one hand, it hasn't really changed that much, but on the other hand, it kind of has. I've noticed soreness and sensitivity is about the same, but I've noticed that my chest has become a little bit more firm and perkier, especially in the nipple area. There's definitely a mass developing in this area that's very noticeable and kind of odd, but in a good kind of way. Not really sure how to explain it other than it's still happening, just not at a huge rate. I expect down the road it'll be more noticeable and more apparent. It's also kind of hard to tell because I also wear very loose shirts. I don't really wear tight clothing. So the material is constantly moving. So it's constantly moving over my chest, which is definitely an odd sensation. It's still very sensitive to the touch, and something is definitely there's definitely growth and development there, just nothing too major or too noticeable. But that's still taking its course and doing its thing. And that's really the gist of it. Other than that tiny little bit of noticeable thing with my chest, overall body is still the same. Overall mind and everything else are still about the same, which, it's good. Some progress is still good. It's still amazing that I experienced as much change as I did within 2 months, when I've been told that kind of stuff would probably be happening later down the road. But this is only month 3. This is only the halfway point of the towards the 6-month mark, when I should be experiencing more apparent noteworthy changes. And even then, that's the halfway point, and there's still the year mark when those changes will be more apparent, and I will, be more full circle into where I want to be physically and mentally, but mostly physically. But right now my goal is just getting closer towards the 6 month mark, because who knows, but is getting towards the 6 month mark. But at the same time, I don't know what's going to happen within like the next, when month 4 or month 5, as I get closer to month 6. Right now my target goal is getting there, because that's when I've been assured that's when the changes will become more apparent and more noticeable, which is what I'm getting, which is what I'm looking forward to. But right now, I mean, the amount that I've experienced in less than 3 months is noteworthy. So to have like a little bit of a kind of a still month where nothing has happened, is just not that big of a deal. So we'll just see where I'm at by month 4 and month 5, and most importantly, month 6. As I get closer to month 6, I'm going to be really excited, because that is kind of when it's like I have some big plans and some big goals towards the end of this year that I would like to see that I fully intend to go in on and see come to fruition. But I'm not ready to talk about that stuff just yet. So I'm not even sure what I meant by that. I just have it's like I just have like something that I just have like goals and stuff that I'd like to do towards the end of this year as I get closer towards that mark. But that's really the gist of it. That's really all of it. So until month 4, or I decide to do something else in the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and take care.